The best way in the world for overcoming objections while selling final expense insurance, of course, is to have a presentation that's just so dang strong, so powerful, and that's being presented in a way that it almost subliminally convinces the prospect to naturally and, well, instinctively think to themselves, this is something that I definitely need. Unfortunately, not everyone, not every final expense agent or life insurance agent is so strong and energetic with their presentation that they can basically overcome all the objections up front. And when it comes to calling to set appointments, it's the same thing. There's going to be people that will just naturally give you an objection and not want you to come over to their home. And, well, when it comes to door knocking, they love to tell you they're busy, they're getting ready to do something, it's a bad time. If you please, leave me your card, I'll get back to you. Thankfully, after you watch this video / webinar, you'll know exactly how to deal with people that give you objections, whether it's while you're calling to set appointments, you're door knocking your final expense leads, or making your final expense sales presentation. My name is Douglas Massi, and before we get into the webinar, I'm going to ask that you give this video a big old thumbs up, and that way we know you're watching, and YouTube does like it when people are watching and they know that they're watching. That's why they'll play the videos. And if you haven't subscribed, you definitely want to do that now. You can ring the little bell afterwards, and you'll be notified each time that we put out a true final expense sales training video. Now, check this out. During the training, we're going to show you how to use the medical questions page that all the agents on our sales team are using. And if you'll stick around all the way to the end of this video, I'm going to show you how to get a copy of this thing for yourself. I'm telling you, it is the perfect way to find out what ailments your clients have and what form of payment they're going to use. That way you put them with the right product for the right person, and you don't have to go back and forth to resell your client on something else after you screwed up and gave them the wrong thing. With all that being said, thank you so much for checking out our YouTube channel, and welcome to the webinar. We're going to talk about overcoming objections, but I do want to speak a little bit about the importance of respect in our business. And only because I feel like I don't talk about that. Rarely do I bring it up, but it is important. It's very significant that your prospects have respect for you, one, and that two, and this is going to sound maybe a little strange, but we do not want to give our prospects too much respect without earning theirs, or without them having respect for us first. I say that because it's almost like you give it away. You know, when you just give it away freely and it's not earned, then you regret it. So to me, it's something that's important I want to talk about a little bit today. Now, here's the way I see it. When it comes to respect, what happens is, and let me tell you why, one of the reasons I'm bringing this up, because one of the gentlemen that really taught me life insurance sales, how to close, how to deal with the nonsense that we get when we're selling life insurance products. He used to tell me that, especially when he would listen to me calling to set appointments on the phone, he would tell me that I'm giving them too much respect. He would say, stop giving them so much respect. When you give them a bunch of respect right up front without anything being earned and basically kissing ass, he said, you're not going to get them to respect you. Then why would they buy from you? And that's something that I used to hear him say that in the office all the time, and he said it to me a couple times, and he was right. So what that does is, I feel like when we give them too much respect, it's like we're giving them control of the entire process. So number one, allowing the prospect to control aspects of the process, it doesn't gain their respect, by just giving it away to them. Number two, stop asking, start telling. When it comes down to it, and you're asking for an appointment, and that's what we do. We are asking for an appointment. You've got to do it in a manner where you're telling them. Same thing with
door knocking the leads, the same thing with closing the sale, making the presentation. I don't ask them, hey, do you mind if could you go and get all your medication? I don't do that. I tell them, go grab all your medication. It's very important. And I do it in a firm manner, which leads us to number 3. You have to be firm. You can't hesitate through all aspects of the sale. Don't stutter. The last thing you want to do is say, can you go and grab your, do you mind giving me your social security number? No, be strong. And look, I'm saying this stuff because this is stuff that I'm guilty of. When I first learning how to sell life insurance products, I gave it all away. I let them. I got no respect. I gave them way too much respect that was unearned, and I used to ask, in a nice way, a nice sweet way to for them to do what I wanted them to do in order to protect their family. And I wasn't firm, and I hesitated, and I would stutter, and every now and then I still catch myself doing stupid stuff like not being firm enough. And once I realize what I just did, I turn it around. Always, number 4, always show confidence in all your actions. This business, it's all, as we always say, it's activity based. Do your activity. Be confident though. It's always going to show. It's always going to come through. And that confidence, when they see that type of confidence, they see that you're a strong professional, someone they want to be around. Well, they want you to be their insurance agent. With sports, you watch these commercials with Aaron Rodgers and his Allstate, and you see him with his shady insurance agent, and then the Allstate insurance agent who's like Mr. Confident, knows everything. That's who you want to be. You want to be firm. You want to be confident. You don't want to be asking these people for stuff. You want them to be asking you for your help. Don't give them too much respect. When you give it away and it's not earned, it's a waste. It really, really is. Part of what I believe in is throughout our process, especially now, and I say this, the process, setting appointments, door knocking, making your presentation. All 3 of these things, when you do it the way that we teach you, you're minimizing objections. That's what we want you to do. The last thing we want is to know we're going to have an objection because we're just kind of weak. So let me just start with always, it's common sense stuff for most of us, but you'd be surprised some of the people that I've met that are in this business, okay? And it's kind of messed up, but always just be presentable, clean, shaven, showered, look professional. Ladies, don't wear the skirts too high. Don't show too much. Don't overdo it. No ties. To me, there is a place for a tie. Now let me just backstep. If you're really young and you got a baby face, guys, I think even ask me. Even it's okay. Ask me what I think. Send me a picture of you if I have no idea what you look like. I'll tell you, because there are times when you do want to wear a tie. One of the things when I first got into mortgage protection sales, well, we all pretty much, most everybody wore ties. But I was told, back then I was told that because I had such a baby face that maybe I should even wear a jacket, kind of step it up, make it look a little bit more professional. So just keep that in mind. Number 2, be prepared. Make sure that you know exactly what the heck you're going to do through each part of the process. And if it's time to do it and you're not ready, and I know it's like I almost hate saying this, but then you need to just do it anyways. And you're going to have to make more mistakes. We're all going to make mistakes. Some have to make more than others, but you have to make yourself get out and do it. It really is that simple. Always energy, be positive, upbeat, smile, whether you're calling, door knocking, making your presentation, smile. I had last year somebody said it to me. Somebody said that I had a really nice smile, when I first was at the door, just door knocking. They opened the door and said, "Oh, you got a nice smile." Something like it was the first thing out of her mouth. Guys, it goes a long way. It's not going to make you look weak if you're smiling. It's what you say, how you say it. That's what's going to give you that level of strength. That's what's going to help you to get that respect that we're talking about here. Never, never, never take no for an answer. I mean, it's kind of common sensey, but then it's not, because we all have to have that line. How far do I go? How far do I push? And that's why when I'm making a presentation and I don't have somewhere I have to be, and I'm spending time with these folks, at some point, there's a lot of times, and something I've gotten good at is being able to sense. Let me just say this: I'm better at sensing whether I've got a sale potential or not as soon as I walk in. A lot of times, I've got that weird, that bat sense, the Batman sense, however you want to refer to it, and it really helps. But I think for most of us, especially if we're newer at sales or newer at selling this business, if you're new at this business, it's going to take a little while for you to have those type of senses. They will come with time, but so my point is, don't take no for an answer. Don't give up. When you're sitting there making a presentation, don't give up until they kick you out of the house or you close the sale. When you're door knocking, don't give up until they're kicking you out. They're telling you get. And when you're on the phone making appointments, calling to set appointments, and they say, you know what, I am not interested, leave me alone, or I've had them like do the thing where they tell me go F myself, and like they would hang up and like as if we're bothering them. Remember, we're not bothering them. They bothered us. So when they tell me to piss off on the phone, a week later, again, and I know I say this all the time, a week later, you need to be knocking on that door. There's no reason for it. No reason at all. And I say a week later because maybe you're not as strong as me. I've done it the next day. I've had them hang up on me, and next day I'm in the field out selling. Guess what? I'm door knocking. Guess whose doors I'm knocking? The people that, one, I couldn't get on the phone, or that two, wouldn't give me an appointment over the phone. And some of them people turn into some pretty damn good clients. Really, really good clients. A couple of years ago, I had a gentleman. He called for a service, and he's like, remember? And he was trying to get me to remember who he was. And we were talking, and he was like, you wouldn't give up. You didn't take no for an answer. And he was telling me about that. And those are your good sales, guys. The ones you earn, the ones you work hard for, the ones that you do what you have to do to gain their respect. That's what we do, guys. It is. So when it comes to door knocking, and we are going to talk a little bit more about overcoming objections, always smile. Again, it's just, to me, it can't go wrong. Carry the leads with you, clipped together, with the medical questionnaire, and maybe the guarantees of whole life laminated in the back. When I'm just door knocking, I don't walk up with my sales book or anything like that. When I first started calling to set appointments, it was the same. I would actually go to my appointment just with a stack of leads and keep my sales book in the car because I was afraid to appear like it was too much. So I'll leave that up to you. Always be prepared to overcome objections while door knocking. Now, this webinar will be on our website on the training calls. It will be there this afternoon. But if you go to our website, there's another webinar all about overcoming objections, and there's a training video. So you've got a couple of different things. And, this stuff is, to me, it's just when I get on the phone, I expect that I'm going to have objections. So I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to be prepared to overcome the objection. When I'm door knocking leads, I expect to get objections. Same thing. That's why I'm making sure that I'm prepared. I know what I'm going to say. I know what I'm going to do when they give me an objection. When I'm in the house making a presentation, we're getting objections all day long. I know what I'm doing. I'm prepared. You need to be too. At all costs, when it comes to door knocking, avoid coming back. really, I mean, do everything you can to get in the house right now, right there. Again, the videos you know, we have videos on at least one good one on door knocking leads on the website. You know, if you click under the training, you hover over the training tab on our website, and you'll see door knocking. And in that video is really good training material on dealing with these folks. You do not gain respect when you door knock a lead. They give you an excuse and you accept it as fact, and you don't push your way in. As a matter of fact, you just taught them what a pushover, weak asshole you are. And statistically, what's going to happen is you're going to come back later because they convinced you to, or you convinced yourself that scheduling an appointment at the door was a good idea. And when you come back, they're either not even going to have the respect to open the door. I mean, you'll see the curtain move and then nothing. You'll hear the TV on, the dog barking, and just ignore you. They will give you, I don't know what's, they will disrespect you in every way possible. Do what you have to do. Push your way in. My attitude, and one of the things I say to them is, look, you know, unfortunately, I don't live here, so we're going to need to do this now. I'll make it real quick. Don't worry. Where can we sit down real quick? And that's, you're pushing constantly. You'd be surprised with these people that are in a big hurry to go somewhere and you're door knocking. Once you get in the house, everything changes. The last thing I want you to do is tell them, well, I'm going to give you the short version of the presentation and then go in and give them a short version. No. You go in and do everything exactly the way you normally would. If you think about the presentation that we do, it's only about 20 minutes or so long. That's pretty darn short as it is. It's not like we're walking in and then walking out 3 hours later with these folks. So when it comes to overcoming objections, and I'm going to go over some of this stuff today, and again, you know, we have the videos on the website. You know, once they start with that, you know, you've got to let them know. You got to do what you have to do to get them to lower that wall. And so, you know, like we're knocking on a lead, Jerry Jones or whatever. You know, you're knocking on Jerry Jones. That's the Dallas Cowboys owner. So, you know, Jerry, I can see you're hesitant. I look, I've been doing this a long time, and I get it. There's nothing worse than having someone come around knocking on the door, coming to my house, and they think they're going to pressure me into buying something that I don't want. Look, Jerry, I will not do that with you. That's not what I'm here for. Remember, you requested this information. It's only going to take me a few minutes to go over this with you, figure out what you qualify for, if you qualify for the special plans, and I'm simply going to show you some options, and you're either going to be pleasantly surprised and very happy that I actually did come by, or not, and we'll shake hands and I'll be on my way. Where can we sit down real quick? If they still hesitate, and this is kind of the way I do it, I expect that second hesitation. Half of them, what's going to happen is they're just going to let you in. Some are going to hesitate. And, you know, that's why I tell you right off the bat, I'm not leaving. You know, Jerry, look, yeah, listen, I get it. Yeah, I know we can call, but you're a hard person to get a hold of. And the last thing I want to do is end up driving back and forth for something that I can make done real quick. It normally takes me about 20 minutes. I'll give you the short version. That way, at least I can go back, tell my boss I did this. And that way, he's not going to send other people here. Where can we sit down real quick? And that's something that I look at, too. I let them know nonchalantly that I'm not the only guy that's going to be coming knocking on their door. If they think they're going to get rid of me, I want them to realize more will be coming. And the thing is, statistically, guys, if they filled out these lead cards, they've had other people, or even on Facebook or telemarketing, they've had people knock on their door. Most of our typical clients, you know, don't just do this once in their life and disappear. They fill out the cards because they're not sure. They forget what it was about. I've had people that have filled out over 10 cards over the past 7 years. Easily. Plus, we've got serial mailers. I've got one guy with dementia. My God, he don't stop 3 times a year. It's been going on for years. Excuse me. So when we're calling to set appointments, again, you need to be in control of what's going on. You set the time by your schedule. You are in control. What I don't do is I don't say, well, I'm going to be in your area. What time is best for you? Morning, afternoon, or evening? I don't do any of that, guys. That's not what I'm doing when I'm calling to set appointments. To me, I'm putting them, I'm a busy person. My schedule comes first. So I'm gonna try to help them at my convenience. And it's because what I do, I get respect. And that's that they need to sense this. That needs to be coming from you in many different ways. So when I'm on the phone, and hopefully I will say, if you're new, it takes a while to kind of get strong on the phone. But when I'm on the phone, I'm setting the schedule. I let them know. Look, I don't say anything like, "Well, what's the best day for me to come out and meet with you? What's the best time?" No. I've got availability tomorrow. I'm going to be in your area. I can stop in between 9 and 9:30, Jerry. How's that with you? Okay? I'm putting the words in his mouth. Yeah, Doug, it's okay. That sounds good. Yeah, I'll be here. Okay, great, Jerry. Listen, I need you to get up, go grab a pen and paper. It's really important information I got to give you. Well, I just said, Jerry, it's really important. I need you to go and grab it for me. Go ahead. Get them up, get them up, get them up, especially if you're sitting down making a presentation. Oh, I know my medication by heart. Jerry, it doesn't matter. I need to see it. Go and grab all your bottles. Well, help me get to the wheelchair. Okay, I'll help you get to the wheelchair. No problem. But you got to get up and go do it. No problem. Be strong, guys. Always smile. Again, upbeat, energy, all prospects. When the old selling over the phone, smile and dial. You need to do the same thing here. I get them to write down the appointment and put it on the calendar. I tell them, I said, what do you do? How do you schedule your appointments? You put them on a calendar. You write them on the calendar over there by the refrigerator. How do you do it? And most people do that way. Heck, I still write things on my calendar on my desk, and then I put them in my calendar, in my Google Calendar. So I do it both ways. Make sure they get up, they write it down, and I tell them put it on a piece of paper. I know I did a good job. When I walk into the house, I sit down to make the presentation, and there's a little sticky note or there's a piece of paper there with my name on it. Now I know I did my job. That's what we have to do. Get them, set the appointments correctly. Be firm, be strong. You don't want to be stood up. I sure don't. Well, if you're not strong, you'll get stood up. You'll get no respect from them over the phone. Now, when they start with the objections over the phone, and like I said, that's normal. It's the same thing when you're door knocking. Sandy, I hear the hesitation in your voice. I get it. And look, to me, there's nothing worse than having someone come over to my house and try to push something on me that I'm not interested. So remember, I'm just doing my job. You requested this information. It's only going to take a few minutes for me to figure out what you qualify for. And if you qualify for the special plans, you're on Social Security, right? Okay, great. So, and these are key. I want you to hear some of the stuff I'm saying. This is key stuff to get them to take the appointment. Sandy, I'm simply going to show you some very affordable options, and you're either going to be really glad that I showed up and pleasantly surprised or not, and we can shake hands and I'll be on my way. Go ahead. I need you to go and grab a pen and paper so I can give you some very important information. And you get them to write it down. Now, I love it when they say, oh, tomorrow's no good. I got an appointment. Or I'm really busy. This week's not good. No. Look, they're getting rid of you, especially when they start with the this week thing. I already know. Well, that's usually not a good start. Most of those people, they don't take the appointment, and I'm door knocking them tomorrow. And guess what? They're there being busy watching TV. Hey, big surprise. Super busy. So what I do is I try to look at it from a common sense point of view. It's that knee-jerk reaction. The knee-jerk reaction is, oh, they're going to try to sell me something, get rid of them. Whether they are interested in it or not, it's still a knee-jerk reaction. It's just like a natural thing. We got to get them to lower the darn wall, the security wall. So when they start with, look, I've got stuff going on tomorrow, what time are you going to do that? Get it out of them. A doctor's appointment. Oh, what time's your doctor's appointment? 11 o'clock? Oh, perfect. I'll just stop by later in the day, towards the end of the day. Hopefully you should be back around 4:30. Yeah, I should be, but I'm not sure. I don't know, but no problem. Do me a favor. I need you to go ahead, get up, go grab a pen and paper. I'm going to give you some very important information. They will do it. Be firm, be strong. Don't let them run the show. You're the boss. You're the doctor. They're coming to you for help. That's why they filled out the form. Excuse me. Now, you're making your presentation. So let me start by, of course, we overcome objections through the presentation by making a presentation. So we want to minimize objections up front through the presentation. The more time you spend with them, the better your presentation is, the better it comes out of your mouth, the more professional you seem, the fewer objections that you're going to get up front. Because when it all comes down to it, it's usually either trust or cost that is the issue. So when they give me any type of objection, and now let me just say this. Of course, they'll say, "Oh, I can't afford that." And right off the bat, we know it's usually about the cost, but it's still okay to go back and rebuild rapport. It's still, but usually they'll make an excuse. Well, I got to talk to my third cousin Louis, who's in Illinois. They give you these crazy excuses. Like it has anything to do with Louis. I mean, come on, guys, it's basic stuff. It's life insurance. So it's excuses. It's the knee-jerk reaction. So to me, number one, I assume when they start giving me excuses, it's about cost. I go right to the price drop close. I bring up the beneficiary. I let them know, look, I know you mentioned earlier the last thing you want is your daughter Sarah to be stuck having to come out pocket taking care of this. So can I make a suggestion? Go for the price drop close. If you don't know how to do a price drop close, guys, we got the video on the website. Or number two, if that doesn't work, go to the, and I will say it's something I'm going to touch on. It's something I call a 2 reasons close, which basically you need to rebuild trust no matter what. And that's usually what it comes down to. Rebuild trust using, maybe a second commercial, personal commercial, a short story about yourself, how, what you have to do to keep your license, how it takes care of your family, how you love doing what you do because you enjoy helping people, how tonight when you leave, you're going to get a really good night's sleep because you did something really good for them. You can do a second personal commercial. You can do that. I show them when it comes down to, I'll show them the license and my driver's license. I'll show them my insurance license. And I get into it. I let them know, look, I understand why you're hesitating. And so, which is kind of the way I do with this 2 reasons close. Now, with the 2 reasons close, the reason I'm saying you either do the 2 reasons close or you go back and rebuild trust. The 2 reasons close is something that I find it's very effective if you're actually talented and you're a strong salesperson. So if you're a closer and you're on this call, this 2 reasons close, when you're sitting with a guy and his wife and he's giving you BS and she's either not saying anything, silent, or she's obviously not happy that he's not going for it. You got to throw his ass under the bus and be prepared. You're going to step back and you're going to fix it before he gets violent or upset and kicks you out of the house. First time I did it was with a guy. He had it was weird. It was a guy in his 50s. He was married to like a 30-year-old woman. They just had a baby. So it was an older situation, kind of interesting. My father, when he had me, he was in his late 50s. So I know it does happen. We absolutely know it does happen. So what I do is these 2 points, 1 and 2, is I let them know, that I get it. but I do it in a kind of a harsh way that's going to get his attention. So he's making excuses. He's hesitating. He's not pulling the trigger. And back in that case, she wasn't saying anything and the baby was crying half the time. So what you do is you look him right in his face, say, listen, can I speak with you? And this is how you do it. You're kind of calling them out. You're saying, hey, is it okay if I call you a freaking a-hole? That's basically what you're doing, but you're not. Jerry, listen, I get it. And I listen, I don't want to waste your time or mine. Can I just cut to the chase and speak with you as if you were my brother or my best friend or a family member? Can I just be open and honest and just say what's on my mind? Sure. Look, I know why you're hesitating. It's one of two reasons. And she's not going to like this, but I'm going to say it. It's either because you really don't care about her, and this is just a show, so that she thinks that you care about her. And look, and if you don't do this, that's going to run through her mind later. That's what she's going to think. She's going to realize, whoa, this cheapskate doesn't even want to spend $40 on me. Or number two, we just met and I get it. Now hold on. And this is a lot of times they'll start to interrupt you. Look, hold on. You said I could speak. You said it was okay for me to just talk to you as if you were a family member. Or it's number two. We just met. You don't know me from Adam, and there's no reason for you to trust me 30 minutes later. And I'm pretty sure that's what it is, because I can tell you guys love each other. I'm no dummy. Okay? But I know you don't want her to think otherwise. So look, let me tell you a little bit about myself. This is my driver's license. You see, I live down there. Here's my insurance license, you see, and I've been doing this for a long time. See this insurance license? This is how I feed my family. Without this insurance license, I'm in big trouble. My family's in big trouble. I might even lose my family, because this is what pays the bills. This is what keeps everybody doing what we're supposed to be doing. It's what puts the food on the table. And the last thing I'm going to do is something that's going to get me into trouble with one of the insurance companies, because the last thing I want is for you to complain about me that maybe I didn't tell you something that's right or what have you. That's not going to happen, because I'm keeping this license and I'm going to make sure that I keep doing what I do. So can I make a suggestion? Go back to the price drop. Have them pick the bottom option. Just go ahead and take the bottom option. It's $59 a month. That way, at least one, it'll take care of the bare minimum. And when you die, because this insurance, again, it's not gonna cover you if you die early. It's gonna cover you whether you die now or later. And that way, at least she's not stuck with the beautiful baby and they're trying to figure out what to do and where to go live, because you wouldn't even have enough life insurance to even take care of your own burial. So you don't want her thinking that. We want it done. Go ahead and grab your driver's license. Be firm, guys. Throw them under the bus. Don't be afraid to, but you're going to step back. The trick is to step back. You're crossing the line, but now you're stepping back before it's too late. I would even suggest if rethinking about what I just did and maybe use it in a way that you're more comfortable doing. But to me, the first time I did it, I remember that was the first time I ever tried it. I did it almost out of desperation, because back then, it was when I first got into the business. I really needed the sales. And once I started doing that, I realized, wow, I got instant respect. No nonsense. With these, you got to do a long cool down, because you just got the guy's blood pressure up. You just got him upset, and now you're cooling him down. So make sure, when you have to overcome objections, especially, you spend more time doing the cool down. To me, that's just major important stuff. And again, it all comes down to, we want to eliminate the buyer's remorse once the sale is done. Whether you have to overcome objections or not, at the end of each sale, and I like to bring this up because to me this is just something that I want to close the call on. Just make sure you give them brochures of the company. Write out the monthly premium and the draft date on the policy summary. Read it over to them, the whole thing. Use it to help build extra trust now that the sale is done. Make sure you give them a business card. I like to give them a last will and testament, a memorial planning guide, and then if you're using the summary page in it, it talks about the benefits of whole life insurance. You want to go over that with them again. At this point, if I haven't showed them my driver's license, I'm pulling it out. Now, I've got an old plastic insurance license. And it's got my picture on it. And that's when I first got licensed, that's how they did it here in Florida. So I'm pulling that out. I'm showing them. I'm building rapport. And I do the same kind of thing over and over. The way I do it is I let them know, look, this is just, I like to show my ID, Mr. Jones. Here's my driver's license. Here's my insurance license. That's how I feed the family. I like to show these. That way you know that I am who I'm supposed to be. And on the business card, I say, you see the picture on the business card? I put the picture on the business card because I don't want you to forget me, because now that I'm your life insurance agent, Jerry, you're stuck with me for life, my friend. They love it when you say that. At this point, what you want to do is the cool down. Always, always, always do a cool down. Come up with some conversation just for a few minutes. If they're not in a big hurry and kicking you out, then spend the time with them. Talk about anything that's not insurance related. So now I know we spoke about your daughter, Sandra. Where is she live local? Is she around here? Do you get to see her often? Talk. Ask questions. Ask more questions. Let them know you're a normal person. Yeah. I've got sometimes they'll show you the pictures. Sometimes you'll see the pictures on the wall. Talk about the pictures. The old thing, when I first got into life insurance, I used to hear marketers, usually marketers that never really sold. They would say, you got to build rapport. When you walk in a house, start talking about the pictures. That's not how I build my rapport, guys. I save it. Save it. Get it now. You've got closing. You're leaving on a super good note. You did everything to build rapport. You did everything to overcome objections. You either got no objections or overcame your objections. You closed your sale. Spend a few extra minutes with them. Just chit chat about anything. Fishing. If you see a fishing pole outside, whatever it takes, anything. Bumper stickers. Whatever. If they're a Republican, hey, I'm a Republican too. If you're a Democrat, hey, I'm a Democrat too. Without saying it, just let them be part of their thing. Anything to talk about that's positive that you can go, that that they're going to be okay with, talk about it. And always, always, always congratulate them on taking care of this for their family. I know how important this is for you, Jerry, to make sure that your daughter isn't stuck having to run around and come out of pocket once you're gone, because that's going to be the toughest time in her life. Believe me, whether you guys get along real good or not, it's going to be a big event for her. And it's you'd be surprised. Whatever it takes, guys. That's it. You know how to reach me, guys. I hope everybody has a really, really awesome week.